So if you've been following the news lately, a second COVID relief package has been in debate under the Congress and was officially signed into law. So we're going to talk about 5 key points about this relief package and how it'll affect you and your business today. Hi, my name is Chris Passmore and I'm your social media CPA. So a $900 billion relief package was signed into law under the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021. And the first key item that I want to talk about today is an additional round of stimulus checks that will be mailed to most U.S. citizens in the next 2 weeks. This is a $600 check per adult and per child, per dependent child, that'll be coming to you. And this is for adults who earn $75,000 or less, or married couples that earn $150,000 or less. So as an example, if you are a married couple with 2 children, you will be receiving a payment of $2,400, hopefully in the coming 2 weeks, according to the IRS. One note on this, it is based on your last filed tax return. So as an example, if in the last tax return you earned more money and maybe phased out of getting this check, or you had an additional child and qualify for an additional $600, you will get a payment based on the last filed tax return. But what then would happen is when you file your 2020 tax return, you can go ahead and claim the additional amount. Let's say you had a baby in 2020 and you qualify for an additional $600. When you file your 2020 tax return, you can go ahead and claim that additional amount and get the additional $600 that was designated for you under this second relief package. So the second key item I wanted to talk to you about today is related to unemployment. Through most of 2020, there was an enhanced unemployment payment for those of you out of work, and that has been extended. There is now an additional $300 per week in a unemployment supplement, and that is effective from December 26th of 2020 through March 14th of 2021. So it's for the next 3 months, an additional $300 per week in a unemployment supplement. The third key item relates to the COVID vaccine. There are a number of different packages in this bill, but it is billions of dollars to support the manufacture and distribution of COVID vaccines for everyone in the U.S. And specifically, it said that it wants to make the vaccine free to anyone who needs it. And so there would be no out-of-pocket cost for you to get that vaccine if you choose to get one. The last 2 items focus more on businesses and small and medium-sized businesses. A significant item that is in the bill is a second round of PPP loans. The bill designates $284 billion in what we call PPP2. And that's eligible for companies who did not participate in the first round. And what's particularly exciting is it also creates an opportunity for companies who participated in, let's call it PPP1, to get a second PPP, but with certain restrictions. So what are those restrictions? If you received a PPP loan in the summer of 2020, what are the general guidelines for you to qualify for a second PPP loan that is also forgivable? First, you have to have fewer than 300 employees. That is required for you to qualify for a second PPP loan. And most importantly, you have to demonstrate in that 1 quarter of 2020, your gross revenue was down 25% as compared to that same quarter in 2019. So you have to demonstrate that you had a 25% reduction in revenue quarter over quarter from 2020 to 2019. And that will generally allow you to qualify for a second PPP loan. The maximum amount of the PPP loan that anyone can take in this round is up to $2 million. The general terms are the same as PPP1 regarding the interest rate, what's forgivable expenses, payroll, rent, utility, things of that nature. So the general guidelines are the same as the initial program that was launched in mid-2020. One last enhancement I want to talk about for PPP2 is a simplified forgiveness application. This is specifically for people who receive a PPP2 of $150,000 or less. Your forgiveness application is simply a 1 to 2 page certification by you, the business owner, saying that you qualify forgiveness, are requesting that. You sign the document, you send that back to your bank. Hopefully that gets approved and your forgiveness process is done. And the last thing, the fifth thing I wanted to talk to you about today, again, mostly for business, is the allowability now of deducting any expenses paid for a PPP loan that was forgivable. And let's not confuse that with the prior statement in the old package that the forgiveness of the PPP was not taxable. So if you received a $100,000 loan and that $100,000 was forgiven, that did not create cancellation of debt income. But previously reported by the IRS, any amounts paid for with that $100,000, let's just use payroll as an example, would not have qualified for a deduction against your taxable income. So that has now changed with the second relief package. Business now have the ability to keep that deduction for that payroll expense even if it was funded by your PPP loan and that loan was subsequently forgiven. And I realize that's a little bit nuanced in concept. The cancellation of debt was not taxable, but the deductibility of the expense was kind of gray. But if you crunch the numbers and prepare your tax returns, you're going to note that this is a significant benefit to small and medium-sized businesses. And I expect that this will save most of my clients a tremendous amount of taxes that would have had otherwise been due. So I actually think this is one of the most significant clauses in the new relief package that is going to provide tremendous relief to small and medium-sized companies. So those are the 5 key takeaways I have from the new COVID relief package that is signed into law. There are several other support items in this bill. There's support for the transportation industry, for airlines, for schools, and entertainment and food. But you can read all of those. The bill is over 5,000 pages, so it is a lot to digest. If you have any questions about the second COVID relief package, please send me a direct message. I'd be happy to walk through how this could impact you or your business. Well, I hope you've found this information useful today, and I look forward to speaking with you again.